This conference will now be recorded.
uh, like why you're trying to change the technology, or you are a fresher. Okay, anything, whichever you feel like, right? Whichever you want to share, that's great, right? So that let's keep it more interactive, right? Let's understand like what is the need here. Okay, what is the requirement for this training, right? So let's understand those. Feel free, right? It's not mandatory. Anyone who would like to go can start. There's no mandate, right? Definitely have to give your introduction. It's all your comfort.
Mm, Hi, I'm Ravi. I'm
Hi
a
Ravi.
senior software. I'm Hi. May I know your name actually?
My name is Sagar.
Okay. Hi, Sagar. Nice meeting you. I mean, one and all. I'm a senior .NET developer and have been working in Malaysia. The reason why I'm here and the things why I'm willing to have this as an additional entity to my career profile is in order to upgrade my skill set. And as everyone knows, in this contemporary era, currently. Cloud is something like which is essential. Along with this, development and operation is something which is quite to be part of the things. That's why I want it to be in my career prospects, so that in order for me to be upgraded to the next level. So I feel, from the .NET perspective, this will enhance my career skill set perspective as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, all, this is Chandrasekhar, working in Chennai Citibank. So, working as
Okay,
a senior technical lead on Tableau, Power BI, and different multiple business intelligence tools, handling for different vendors here. And I would like to take this course to upgrade my skill set. Where the cloud, Azure cloud, or any other cloud will be an added advantage when added skill set in our resume, as well as to find out the new activity and move ahead in my career as well. So that's why I choose this career, Azure Cloud.
okay, great. Anyone else?
Hello, this is Arvind. I recently completed my master's in computer science. I like to know about the cloud. I am interested to do good opportunity to get in a cloud. That's why I am here.
Okay, great.
Hi, this is Funny. I'm QA test lead. As many of the companies are moving to cloud, so I want to learn the cloud technologies.
Okay, great.
Hey,
Thank
hi
you.
Sagar and everyone. So I'm Surya Varma. So I'm a master student. I just graduated like 2 months ago. So I'm looking for a full time in Devops. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Uh, Hi everyone, this is Santosh, currently working as a senior software engineer in one of the leading insurance company in Malaysia. And currently I'm working on .NET technologies, and I want to add all these cloud technologies into my skill set. That's the reason I'm here today. Thank you all.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, fine. No worries. Okay. Okay, so my name is Sagar. Okay, I have total 12 plus years of experience in this industry of cloud. Okay, I have worked with multiple clouds. Okay, I have complete experience in data centers. I have worked in data centers. I have worked as a Linux admin. Okay, I worked as a Solaris admin. Then I also use AIX servers. If you have heard about AIX servers, that also I have learned it. So that also I got an opportunity to work with Citibank. I worked with Ericsson, company called Ericsson, right? So I started my career with Wipro, okay, and then I moved to TCS. Then I moved to a company called Ultimatric. Okay, so all these clients like Ericsson, Citibank, all these clients I have touched it from my career of Wipro, right? Currently, I'm working with Mastercard, a product-based company, and I have complete experience in this DevOps and this multi-cloud, where I am still working. I'm delivering for multiple uh, merchants, okay, for their transactions and etc. things with the help of these DevOps tools. We have multiple uh, fraud protection gateway where we support all this requirement for the merchants, okay, who is making the payment currently. So I'm working for that, as well as I train for corporate people, where I spend my time in a year. I get a chance for in a quarter to train for corporate people, as well as on outside I train for consultancy batches, where we have in the early morning we have consultancy batches where we train hundreds of people who join our batches, as well as I take individual batches which goes on like 365 days, which we have this batches going on, right? That's a brief intro about myself. Okay, so moving on. Okay, moving on. This is the course outline which I'm going to focus as part of this demo. Okay, so DevOps overview, cloud computing, your Azure cloud, your industry is using DevOps in Azure. Okay, so it's important to understand that where can we make a footprint once we have this knowledge, right? Once you have this knowledge, once you have this expertise skill, where will you make a footprint in this industries? I'm speaking about industries, I'm not speaking about the companies. So industries are your group of companies, right? So that is what I'm speaking about here. So don't think only in the software we have the opportunities. We have, apart from that, we have lot of the places where you have a lot of opportunities for your DevOps in Azure, because it's related to your life. It's related to your day-to-day life, where people are using. It may be an educated person. It may be a person who is not educated. Even a child who is born, okay, who might be from 3 years, born 3 years child, who is using this DevOps technology, okay, directly or indirectly. Okay, then how do you accelerate your career in DevOps and Azure cloud, right? how do you make a how do you start a good roadmap? Okay, good roadmap. If you say cloud is one side, DevOps is one side, but both are going hand in hand today's world, because both are required. Okay, we require both DevOps and cloud. Both are important, because anywhere cloud, if you want to utilize a cloud, you should have a technology which requires all the infrastructure, requires all the infrastructure, which requires all the services. So there is where this cloud, DevOps and cloud goes hand in hand, and that market is demanding today. Okay, so before I go into this agenda, let's have few things clear. If there are freshers, if there are people who are from different technologies, okay. So very first thing, remember, it's a time and patience work, because time and patience will make more money. Okay, because this place is where where you entering into the cloud, into the DevOps, right? It is not a support job anymore. We don't do a support work here. It's purely a tool based. Everything is a tool, everything is a service which you're going to learn. Okay, and is more self explanatory. Okay, and a lot of open source tools are there in DevOps where you learn. And coming to your cloud is something not new, right? It is same. The previous, before cloud, we has a data center. What the data center provided us, same the cloud is providing. And cloud also has a data centers, but only thing, cloud is not showing us a data center. It is just showing a web page. It is delivering the services over the web page and we're using it. So it is simplifying our life, it is simplifying our work, where people tend to use more graphical user interface, okay, where people are more comfortable in clicking the buttons and getting their services done. So that is where this cloud came up with a concept where they wanted to deliver all the services over the web, and people are much more happy to use it, right? So second most thing is, as you're entering the world of cloud DevOps, right, very mandatory is Linux, because it doesn't matter it's a Microsoft product or it's anywhere. Even Microsoft uses Linux for their customers. Okay, if you go and search, though Microsoft itself has Azure, those people will use Linux. They have their Windows, but still people use Linux because Linux is much more secured. Okay, the Linux is much more secured, and every application in today's world is dependent on Linux. So we are not touching the basics, we are touching the little bit advanced level as well, because going forward it will help you in troubleshooting. So that's the more whole idea about learning this one. And also it adds some weightage to your profile. And anyone who is passionate to kickstart their career, okay, as a DevOps can start. There's no hard prerequisite. If they have worked in multiple different technologies, or someone has touched only a single tool, okay, of DevOps, and they may be working some support job, okay, so you can start from the scratch. It doesn't require any prerequisite. The prerequisite which was there, Linux administration, that also we are covering as part of this course. And coming to your programming knowledge, it's not mandatory, okay, you don't require it. If you are interested to learn, you can learn, okay, you can put or add some weightage to your profile, but it is not mandatory, it is not required anywhere, okay, because we are the automators. We are going to automate the manual task. We are not the coders, right? Who is not We're not going to do any kind of a coding. And any people from any background, maybe they have done some diploma, they have done some MBA, they have done some MBBS, because we have seen people from different backgrounds are learning this one, right? We have seen civil engineering people from electrical background, people from MBBS, people have done your MBA, people who have done your BBA, BCom, right? So those people also learning this, and they can attend this one and they can look for a job, because it's us it's a technology where you're learning from the scratch. There's no prerequisite. This is the course outline. Complete 5 modules we will be doing: introduction to DevOps world, Linux administration, DevOps tools, Azure cloud engineering, okay, interview guidance. So all this are provided, okay. It may be experienced person, it may be a fresher, doesn't matter. This course is designed from a very fresher till your 10 plus years of experience people, right? So we have covered all the advanced things which industry is demanding today. And then DevOps with Azure tools, we have all these tools which you're going to cover as part of the syllabus. Okay, how much weightage your DevOps has, the same weightage we are putting for the cloud, because anywhere you go, cloud alone is not asked. Either one of the tool, either mandatory Git will go, or a Jenkins will go, or a Ansible will go, or somewhere people will only work on Docker, Kubernetes. But GitHub is mandatory anywhere. Linux admission is mandatory. It doesn't matter. You learn any one DevOps tools, even inside your Azure. Okay, inside your Azure also you require Linux. Why? Because when you work with any kind of a disk management, okay, any disk management you work, there you require your Linux skills. So everywhere it is expected. That's the reason, because the base for this DevOps itself is Linux. Base for the DevOps itself is Linux. Fine. Moving on, we'll be doing some projects. Okay, we'll be putting some effort in drawing the architectures. This behind this, it's not like a college internship. It's not like a college project for a fresher we are doing. It's a knowledge base. It's a knowledge base where you're putting this one, how you're integrating one component to other component. Okay, how you build your pipeline, because pipeline is not built in one go as you complete your project. No, it's a continuous process. Continuously you're building your pipelines, okay, continuously you're deploying it, continuously you're checking how I can deploy in various ways. What if I have a VM base, completely my customer environment is VM base, I'm deploying in VMs, in the virtual machines. What if my customer has multiple virtual machines? How can I automate that? Okay, that is where we are bringing a Ansiblization. We are doing an Ansible playbook deployment. What if you say my customer is completely dependent on the Docker? His complete setup is Docker. Then how can I deploy in production? How can I deploy in UAT? How can I deploy it in my dev environment, right? So same way Kubernetes. Okay, so every step is that. And finally, we'll be learning your infrastructure designing. Okay, how do you design your infrastructure? That means, what if tomorrow you have a complete new project? Your customer is has a completely new project. He want a completely different Azure region. Then how do you design your VPC? Okay, how do you add your load balancer? How do you create your application for the customer? How do you create your website for the customer? Because application will be created by developer, but how do you create your website? How do you maintain your website? How do you manage the load on the website? So all these things will be drawing an architecture, we'll be designing a goal for that, and then we'll be proceeding with that. Fine. So moving on to the course content. Okay, before I proceed, this is how the course content is designed. Okay, I hope you got it. If you didn't get, we'll share it. So this is your introduction to DevOps world, your operating system knowledge, because very first is operating system knowledge required, because that's a fundamental, that's a base. If you have a good operating system knowledge, doesn't matter any tool comes in the market or any service comes in the market, you can easily work on it, because the platform matters a lot. Platform matters a lot. It may be troubleshooting, it may be integrating, it may be installing any other software inside your machine. You require this fundamentals, which is a Linux. Fine. Then moving on, we'll work on Git version control system. Then we'll work on Maven, Nexus, SonarQube. All these are the standard tools of your DevOps. Okay, your Jenkins. Well, we'll be learning your Jenkins pipelines, freestyle jobs. Okay, we'll be we'll be seeing that how we can integrate all the tools to Jenkins, and then we manage your builds from Jenkins. Then we'll be learning your automation of Ansible. Okay, how do you automate all your deployments? How do you automate your installations? We'll be seeing at that plat. Then we'll go for a Tomcat. Okay, then we'll look into your Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, so it doesn't matter for us what is the code written. It's written in Java, it's written in .NET, it's written in Python, doesn't matter. Now we are worried about the tools, because we are purely working on the tools. So whatever fails in our tools, okay, whatever fails in our tools, that are we responsible for. Okay, and moving on, we'll be learning Terraform for your Azure. Okay, because that is more demanded today in terms of infrastructure cost reduction. Okay, and then we'll jump into your Azure cloud. Then we'll jump into Azure cloud. We'll be starting from the basics. Okay, and then we'll move into your Azure with the compute snapshot, load balancers, okay, auto scaling, virtual scale set, your storage, DNS, okay, your DevOps, and then finally we'll come to your resume. Okay, we'll be preparing your resume in case anyone requires. If people are experienced, they can put their resumes. It's fine. Okay, but we have one session for this where we spend some time in understanding few things, clarifying people who want to completely move from technical to non-technical. Okay, how do you put things in my resume? How can I make sure it looks like real time, right? So all these things we will speak about, and most important thing is, guys, your behavioral skills. Its behavior is not in terms of behavior, in terms of technology, right? So and your mindset change. So main thing, how you keep your mindset when you know that you don't have a prior experience for a cloud, but you're keeping that experience. Okay, that means though you have a genuine experience, you're just converting that genuine experience to cloud. Maybe you have worked something else, you're just moving that to a cloud, because no one is going to verify it. So there is where your mindset is important. Okay, if you don't tell about yourself, no, the front person will never know about it. So it's all in your hand, right? How well you manage it. If you have a knowledge, you have a good hands on, and you are capable of doing it, then it's just move your resume and move on, right? So do not tell about your past. If you speak about your past, there is where things get ruined, right? So it's all in your hand. How do you put it? If you want with your previous plus the current Azure, it's fine. You can go it. There's no issues. But someone want to move completely as DevOps, completely as a cloud, having a cloud inside your resume, then you have to not you should not really you should not keep your past things in front of someone. Though you have worked, you have to manage it, that I have worked so and so things with my project. Add it to you add it Azure to a existing project, or see how Azure, whatever I have learned, my DevOps in Azure, how that will fit in my existing project, where I can fit, where I can relate it. That is where you have to make your points ready from your existing project and speak about it. That's just an interview, right? So once you go inside this, nothing, right? It's like 70-30. If it's a service based company, they will be like 70% process, 30% technical. Even if it is a banking, it's insurance, same way, 70%, more than 70. Banking, I have seen 90% process. If you speak about your Kotak Mahindra Bank, HDFC Bank, your Citibank, all these things, right? These are 90% process. They don't allow you to run any kind of a command. It's all a document based. They say this is our procedure. You have to do, any has to go with the change request, and you have to do this process. So 90% is a process. If you learn their process, you know the more. Okay, if you can do their work, then you're set in the job, right? Technical things you'll get in the Google as well, guys. Just search it. Okay, make it fit according to your environment and go on. Okay, and the additional things, people who cannot join the sessions for some reasons, so if they want the recordings, they want the notes, all these things, I'll be providing it from my side. Fine. Okay, so any questions, guys, before I jump into DevOps? And coming to this complete uh, course, there's no PPT concept. This is just for your demo, because demo I have a limited time, so that's only the reason I go with PPT, so that I can cover few things in PPT, few things in diagrammatic way. Okay, we'll be drawing a diagram as well. Okay, but I will take some 5 to 10 minutes more, okay, in the introduction part. Then I'll jump into the diagram, and we'll speak about each and every tool. We'll understand what is the use of each and every tool, and what is use of each and every service in your Azure. Okay, we'll speak about those. Any questions, guys? Any doubt? Any queries? Anyone has any basic general thing you have? Feel free to ask. Anyone? Anyone? Any question so far? Feel free,
Uh,
right? Yes.
Sagar, do we need to do any certifications, or
Not
are we
required.
going to? I mean,
I
actually,
suggest.
I am from, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
am from
Complete your.
I am from
Okay.
.NET background. I mean to say,
Yeah.
I'm a senior .NET developer.
Yeah.
So, in order for us to keep this one as an additional entity or something which we acquired,
Mhm.
I think
Okay.
definitely, I mean, without that, many may not look into us, right? Unless and until we do some sort of certification. That's what I
Mhm.
personally feel, and I need some suggestion from you. What you are going to
Okay.
suggest on this is.
See, very first thing, if you're trying to move for a different company, okay, if you're trying to move, you're going to apply for a different company, don't do the certification, because it's waste, because it's all about your knowledge, right? When you go for an interview, no one will judge based on a certification, because in today's world, if you know that people can buy certification as well, people will not trust, first of all. So it's all what you speak in the interview, because the way you speak in the interview, the way you put things in front of, the way you put your knowledge in front of that, that matters. If you're able to speak, if you're able to crack a scenario, if you're able to understand the concept of Azure, if they're able to understand the concept of DevOps, there is where people will recognize you. It's not based on certification. And if your certification, when you need to do, when you want a new position, when you feel that no, my work, existing work is not good, I want to make a footprint in some other technology, then you go for certification, that within the company, just for a promotion, or you want to get for the next level, then you go, because this has some expiry date, right? And in the interview, Definitely, if you're going for a new company, you're going for new project as well inside internally, people will not just judge you based on certification. If your company says no, it's mandatory, then go for it. I'm not stopping it, but don't do it just for interview purpose or to change your job, right? Because no one will judge you based on your certification. It's all what you put in front of them, how much capable you are of doing your work. That is where you get selected for the interview, not based on certification. I don't recommend anyone to do certification. Okay, because I have seen like people who have 20 years of experience, 15 years of experience, right? They never have done certification because 100% no one will judge you certification. Okay, you do it, you don't do it, because we see people coming from IITI background, the students, even the real time expert cannot do the certificate. He'll not do the certification first of all. He'll be not interested. But the students who come from IIT background, they do the certification, they come. But when you ask them a very basic question, they don't have an answer. Because we clearly know that certification is, they have brought the certification with some money. They have paid some amount, they got the certification. Because that is my personal suggestion. But still you want to go with Azure. So Azure have a level 1 where you have question and answers. Okay, you can get a lot of dumps in Google. Okay, so search for it. Okay, put your knowledge. Azure, the level 1 which you're going to do it, it's purely question and answers. Okay, and level 2, it will come as your, whether it was sysops level, level 2 will come as your hands on of your complete Azure. Okay, so level 1 you can easily complete it. You can read the complete FAQs. Once you register for the certification, they will give you some materials, some links to learn from there, right? It's purely FAQs, all select, choose the correct answers. You'll be getting 2 items for that, and you can go for it, right? I believe there's some discount also going on previously. It was some 5k they were charging for this first level. Now how much they're charging, maybe wait to see the rates of that. But it's all your choice, right? You can write it still. But I recommend only when you want a promotion, when you want to go grow for the next level. Okay, you're looking for the next level, then you go for it. Or your company says no mandate, the client is asking for certification only, then you're allowed, then do it. It's fine.
Thanks for your
Any
broader
more questions?
perspective on this.
Hi, sir. May I
Yes.
know, for this course takes how long to finish?
This takes minimum 2.5 to 2.5 months minimum.
Okay. Each
Why?
session,
Because if you see, yeah, go ahead.
uh, 2.5 months with how many sessions?
It will go nearly minimum, according to my understanding, 75 to 90 hours it will go. Daily
Okay.
will be spending
Only
1 hour.
the week. Okay. It goes only
Complete
the
week.
weekends or weekdays also.
Till Saturday I'll be covering. Sunday one day I don't cover it. 6 days a week it will be.
Okay.
So it will easily cross your 75 to between 90 days it will cover, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the syllabus is very vast and it takes time initially to pick up a few classes where we spend a lot of time in Linux. Okay, it's not that just a basic commands you run. No, it's very in detail of Linux you will be learning. So that, because main thing is, when you enter this DevOps in Azure, you'll be touching your command line, so your hand should be smooth enough to run those commands in Linux, right? So that is where little bit of time we'll be spending in initial days, then we'll pick up slowly, right? So wherever I get some half an hour extra, I'll put it their effort. But minimum the course will be 1 hour, because more like half an hour theory, half an hour practical I put it on the daily basis.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. No more
Hello,
questions.
sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hello, Sagar. I will go
Yeah.
first.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Will you provide any exercise on a daily class, or it's a
Yes. Yes. Whatever I execute, I'll be executing in front of you. Okay. You can practice it. Those. Okay. Apart from that, I'll give you some scenario-based questions, and I'll be giving you a PDF. In that, some examples will be there. You can work on that examples. I'll be sharing a PDF. You can work on that examples.
okay? And other question is it good idea to switch the career because I'm in QA? If
UI.
what
You're in the UI. That means you're doing some front end
QA?
job.
No, no, QA,
You-
not the
QA. Okay. Quality assurance.
yeah.
Okay. So quality assurance also require a DevOps.
Yeah,
If you
I
know or
know
you
the
don't
DevOps,
know,
but I'm into automation. I have basic idea on these Gits and
how many years
Jenkins.
of experience you have?
12 years.
12 years. You can go with QA with DevOps. Okay, QA DevOps. You can go with it, right? So you can merge those. You can merge those QA DevOps because I have worked with multiple clients of fintech companies, insurance companies, right? Where QA people also do the DevOps activities. We have seen complete DevOps activities done by QA folks, right? So you can go. There's no hard prerequisite, right? You can go with it, and it will work out.
Okay,
You
and
can switch. You you can switch, but don't switch completely 12 years. Put it 50-50, right? Or at least 60-40. So 40% you keep it QA, 60% you keep it as DevOps, and then move on from there.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes. Who's this?
Yeah, Aravind, this is Sagar. We'll get recordings every day, or we need to ask for recording
No,
if
no,
we miss
no.
the class.
Every day you'll get it. Every day there'll be a drive shared. Your notes, notes will be put in. That will be there, and recording will be also in the drive only. I believe. If daily drives, you'll get it. Daily they upload it. It's not monthly, weekly kind of work. Daily after the session, you'll get it.
Okay, thank you, Sagar,
And
for
there's
that.
I believe there's a cloud, right? Automatically it gets record. It puts in the cloud, and that access is given to you. Once you add it there, you'll be given that access. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so most of you might know what is this DevOps. So DevOps, the meaning itself, devs of a developer, ops for operations. Okay, so who is a developer? A developer who is a person who is writing the code. Okay, it can be any language. Is writing the code. And operation people, where is where you form your. There is where people fall under your DevOps cloud. Okay, Linux admin, networking, all the administration part. Where you do the administration part, okay, that is where the operation folks fall, right? Now what is this DevOps? So DevOps, okay, DevOps is a practice. Okay, it's a process. Initially DevOps came as a process. It started, this technology started in 1915, 1915. Okay, long back this started, this one. It came as a process initial days, and then between your 2010 2012, it is there for the long, right? It is there from the long, where people were working as a build and release. Before DevOps, all the DevOps tools which we used, few of the DevOps tools were called as build and release tools. Okay, build and release technology, build and release engineer, we used to call as build and release engineer. Then they found a little bit of difficulty in this build and release process. They moved completely to it DevOps, where we using an agile process, where we shifted from a waterfall to agile model. Okay, we'll speak about it. So simple terms, this DevOps is a process. But why do we require this process? Why do we require this practice? Any company you go today, they require a standard process for building a product, building a software, building a website. It can be anything, any product they want to build today, they require a process. There is where your DevOps process came into picture, which says your operation and development team will work together, okay, to build a quality product. Building a quality product is very important today. Okay, in today's world, building a quality product, right from the design till you develop the product and it goes in the market. It can be any product, it can be a phone, it can be your electronic product, it can be a website, it can be your household things, anything, right? Any product has to be have a proper process. Okay, it should have a proper process. Okay, right from they develop till it goes release in the market. And for that reason they require a life cycle. Okay, they require life cycle. What is life cycle? Simple, life cycle is a process where how do you start the work, how do you end the work. Okay, if for example, if you take an example of a website, so you might have a life cycle where you say I want a requirement phase, I want a uh, design phase, I want a development phase, I want to deploy somewhere, I want to do a testing, I want to do a monitoring. All these are your life cycle phases. Okay, so simple terms, DevOps is a practice, it's a process, it's a philosophy, it's a culture of operation development working together to build a quality product using a life cycle, right from the design or development of the website till it goes live in the market, that is your DevOps process. Okay, that is DevOps process. Every company is using DevOps process, every company is using your DevOps process and technology, fine. And who is a DevOps engineer? He's an IT professional. Okay, why I'm not putting here a cloud, DevOps, Azure cloud kind of thing. When you say DevOps engineer, the itself your cloud comes. You additionally no need to mention your cloud and everything. Definitely, any DevOps engineer requires a cloud. Okay, explicitly, some places what happens, they request you knowledge about only cloud knowledge. Okay, maybe they have some requirement for the client, they'll say only Azure cloud, AWS cloud, cloud engineer, cloud engineering technology, right? So they ask, but basically in your DevOps it falls whichever cloud you want to put it. So he's an IT professional who works with software developer, operators, other production staff, and admission courses, right? So basically our work is to release the code. What do you mean by release the code? Out of the code we build a software, and that software is deployed in the production system. There is where your application launches. It can be an application. If you are launching a website, the website will be launched, okay, with the help of this work, right? So basically our work is managing the website. How to manage the website via DevOps tools. You're normally not managing. Again, I'm saying we are not going to worry about the code. If something fails inside a code, it's a work of developer. Okay, we don't fix it. Then basic thing is communication skills, guys. In today's world, very basic thing is the communication matters a lot, because when you speak to a client, when you speak to your colleagues, it makes very important, so that you can explain the work you have done or explain the issue which you are facing, right? Then DevOps engineer will work with development team. Okay, okay, to tackle the coding, that means to manage your application, to work with the application. Okay, we'll be working with them, as well as we'll be doing some automation. That is where we're running a scripting as well. So we are learning multiple automations. You are learning Ansible, Terraform, we're learning Jenkins. Okay, all these automations which you're learning, okay, we have to implement it. Then roles and responsibilities. A full-time work, they're responsible for production, ongoing maintenance. So complete website, what are the application which is running, okay, that has to be managed by the DevOps tools, and DevOps tool has a capability of managing it. Okay, and you should have some strong skills about your CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment tools, because any company you go, guys, any company you go, definitely you have some DevOps tools. Out of the whatever listed, definitely the tool will be there. Without that, company cannot proceed. Okay, and then you should have any one of the cloud, Azure, AWS, GCP. If you learn Azure, next, after 1 year, put some effort in learning AWS and GCP. Okay, any 1 year. So just add multi-cloud, that will be more beneficial to you. And it is same. All the clouds, the logic is same. Doesn't matter. Your operating system is operating system anywhere. Okay, hardware is hardware anywhere. So whatever you're going to learn is same. Only here and there, the look and feel will change. But the logic for the services are same. Both the three services are same because it came from the Linux. So it is same. Fine. So able to perform system troubleshooting and problem solving. So we are learning some troubleshooting as well. Behind every tool, I'll be teaching you some 10 steps of troubleshooting so that you put your knowledge there. Then manage your infrastructure in terms of your complete cloud technology. Okay, complete cloud, complete knowledge in terms of your complete administration plan. Plus, we'll be doing some, okay, completely infrastructure management. And then evaluate your automation scripts. That means everywhere wherever the automation is required, you have to automate. So we'll speak about automation as well, how the real time people require this automation, everything. Okay, fine. So let's stop it here. Okay, no, let's stop it here. Now move on, let's move on. Okay, any questions, guys, so far in the basic? Okay, that's just a basic. What are your roles? What is the responsibility? Now come to the main part. Now understand that. Okay, how the requirement will come to you and how you get the work. Okay, how do you get a work when you join a company? Okay, so very first thing, understand, guys, about the team structure. Which all teams you're going to put effort. Okay, which all teams you're going to work. For example, let's take as a company. If let's suppose TCS is one company. Okay, if TCS is one company, you're working with TCS, then how do you proceed working with your DevOps and Azure, right? How the work starts. For example, if a new project is there, TCS got a new project and it got a client called, okay, it called a client called ABB. Okay, ABB is one company, or you take simple, take it Mintra, the best. Small website, easy. Okay, so Mintra, you take Mintra, which is a e-commerce website. So these people will basically sign. Okay, they'll sign a contract. They sign a contract with these people for your website and your infra maintenance. Infra maintenance. Okay, website infra maintenance. Yeah. So now, how do you think you'll get a work out of this? Who will give you the work? How your work comes into picture? So understand that. Very first, understand your teams. Which all teams you're going to put effort. Which all teams you're going to put effort. Okay, which all teams you're going to put effort. Which all teams are going to put effort. So very first team is your product team. Okay, product team, which we called as, will increase the font in a minute. Product managers. From this people actual works come from these people we get the actual work. These are the main people, because any company requires a marketing professional, or any company require a product knowledge, who is a MBA professional, right? Who deals with your complete clients. Okay, so these people mostly have all this knowledge. These are product people who will be working on different days. So they also have a different tools and everything, but they get all the information. So their work is mostly, the responsibility is, okay, responsible for gathering all the requirements from client. They are responsible for requirement from client. That means they'll gather all the features, the timeline, okay, your technology, okay, what kind of a technology you want it, okay. So what is your cloud requirement, okay. They'll ask all these details, okay. Based on these details, you get the work. Not only you, it may be a developer, it may be quality analyst, it may be QA people, anyone, okay. These people get the requirement. So the features, timelines, the technology, cloud requirement, okay, the what level of testing you want, okay, what level of security you want for your application. So all these things, right, they'll be having, uh, okay, they'll be gathering all the details about it, and based on that, second team is your development team. So this development team is where you get, so there is where your developers fall, okay. So this is where developers fall, your back end, your front end, your DB, okay, all these are developers. They are responsible for developing the code, responsible for developing the code. So they are completely into the code, right? They'll be writing the code for the application, and once the code is written, they'll be sharing it with us, okay. So third comes your operational team. Okay, third comes your operational team. There is where we fall, okay. The DevOps engineer, fine. DevOps engineer doesn't matter, okay. If you're going with some, uh, even if you're going with some, what do you call it, some language, someone is working .NET, someone is working on your Java, or someone is working on some other thing, right, doesn't matter. They require this knowledge as well, because even if today's the world developer, if you see, developer definitely requires a Git knowledge, developer definitely requires a Maven knowledge, developer requires a Jenkins knowledge. Without that, because all these things are done by a developer, okay, all these things are done by a developer as well. Why? Because though he'll not be doing administration, at least he'll be using the services, he'll be using these tools, where he want to trigger a build, he want to push some code to Git, he want to run, do some Maven operations. Sonar Cube also they'll touch it, because there is where they fix the bugs, all your core, okay, all your vulnerabilities, bugs, and everything you fix it. So this knowledge is required, okay, knowledge is required. Though they might not require in-depth knowledge, but they require knowledge, fine. So we are responsible now. If you're going as a DevOps engineer and you want to add some profile, then you are responsible for, okay, so cloud management, or is a cloud operations, managing the website, and DevOps tools. Fine. And finally comes your QA team. So according comes your QA team, which is your quality assurance. Okay, this is also an important team which is required, and even this people requires a DevOps knowledge. Why? Because okay, why? Because if your complete product contains your product you're building contains a lot of DevOps tools, then it is required, because these people also will be doing at website level testing, your functional level testing, right? So functional testing, okay, your load testing, your performance testing, right? All these things you do it. Okay, so wherever your DevOps tools is used, will be touching it there. Okay, they'll be touching their knowledge. They also require a Jenkins to trigger the jobs for your QA work. They also require Git for keeping pushing the code. Okay, so they require this one, right? So now all these teams, we have this one person is going. This DevOps engineer is going to interact with developer, quality assurance, as well as product team. So we have to interact with all these folks when we do our work, because QA people, whenever they do a load testing, they do a load testing, or they do some performance testing, they might require some additional infrastructure from Azure. So how do you provide a support for them? How do you provide a support, or how do you make sure what is the requirement they have of creating a machines, increasing the CPU, increasing the RAM, okay? Or if they want to add some additional hard disk, they want to do some huge level of function for storing the output. So all these things are provided for a developer also. We go hand in hand, because developer is writing the code. When we build an application, wherever the error comes, developer will come with us, he will fix those, right? So we have a dependent interdependency between the teams to work together. There is where they brought a DevOps, developer and operation work together to build a quality product, to build a quality product. That is what the requirement of any company today is. Fine. So now, so these people, okay, these people are the one who will be assigning the work in form of tickets, in form of user stories via tickets. Okay. So this is, any company will have this three of teams, okay, where you interact, because our work is one where every person, okay, every person, it doesn't matter in order. In these teams there are multiple teams again: data science, data engineering team, okay. So there are data, okay, data analyst teams. These people also requires a cloud. So there is where, because we are the admins of this cloud, we provide the permissions of this cloud, okay. And also in some cases what happens, if anyone requires a infrastructure, anyone requires infrastructure, so we provide that infrastructure, fine. Now, moving on. So let's suppose there are these developers sitting here, right? So very first, okay, as soon as the work is assigned, okay, as soon as the work is assigned for creation of website, very first developer will start the work. Why? Because without developer, the work will not start. Okay, what are the requirement you get for infrastructure from a DevOps? We will do it in the Azure. We will do it. Okay, but very first, whenever the developer writes a code, that code has to be secured properly. The code has to be, doesn't matter, it's a developer, it's a DevOps engineer, it's a QA engineer, it can be any person. This code is mandatory, because this is where your automations are left. So very first tool is your Git or a GitHub. GitHub is a graphical user interface, Git is a command line. Git is a command line. Okay, Git is a command line. So why do I require this tool? What is the need for going with this tool? What makes it different that I should go with this tool? Why can't I store it in my Windows, in my Linux? I can store it here, right? Why do you want this one? Why do I want this one? What is the reason for this? If you see this one, see this document, I'm placing a cursor, observe this one. So what it says, type is Microsoft Fine, author is reach me out so and so, title is there, size is there, date is there. For example, just assume that you have 10 people in your team. You have 10 people, it may be developer, it may be anyone. Okay, 10 people are there. So, and this is one of the important file. So all the 10 people modified it. All the 10 people modified it. Only the last person name is coming. Only the last person name is coming. Now, what about the 10 people? Where are the names tracked? What are the rest of the 9 people? 10th person modified it. We got his name. His name is coming here. But rest of the 9 people name where it is. Where did we record? We don't have any recording. Okay, we didn't record anything. We didn't track it anywhere. Okay, that is first problem. Second problem, what did they modify? What did the 9 people modify? We are getting only last person name. We don't even know that last person what he modified. That content also we don't have. So people are changing something, people are modifying, people are adding, people are uh, doing any kind of operation inside a file, but we don't know that where it is getting tracked. We don't have any tracking. People, we know that last person modified this one, but what he modified, there's no such information. Okay, so very first problem is your tracking. Very first problem for your Git. Okay, in the traditional system is your when you go with Linux and Windows and store inside a machine, that is one problem where you have a tracking when multiple people are working. Okay, the very first GitHub we use for your tracking the source code as well as managing the source code management. Fine. Second thing is your storage optimization. Okay, storage optimization. So why is storage optimization? Because cost matters. Any company you go, cost matters. Okay, they can't keep duplicate. If you have this file and 10 people are making a duplicate, it's difficult, right? It's difficult for working them. It's difficult as well as the cost for the ssd is very costly. Cost for the ssd is very costly. Okay, that is very costly. That's the reason it's always recommended we require some storage optimization technique. There is where GitHub or Git provides you storage optimization technique where the duplicate things are not stored. Okay, duplicate things are not tracked, duplicate things are not recorded, only the unique data is recorded here. So okay, storage cost optimization we're doing here. Okay, we're optimizing the storage cost. Okay, because company end of the day has to generate a profit, so storage cost. So say two things for your GitHub. One is your tracking, second storage cost optimization. So this is mandatory for your GitHub to achieve it. That's the reason why. Because take a simple real-time example. Let's suppose a very critical developer. Okay, there is a very critical developer. There's a team of 3 members and a critical developer is there who left the company very next day. And very in the very previous day, what he did, he modified a lot of things. Now when people are running the build, it is not building, it is throwing all the compilation errors, it is throwing all the runtime errors. Now who will resolve this one? Even if the developer who comes new, he doesn't have, he will take some time, it will take some time for him to digest all the files. Okay, all the things from the scratch, it will take some time. So code is very important. Let's suppose tomorrow you have some release, you want to update a website with some new changes, or let's suppose there's a big billion sale where you want to put effort, but some of your developer who has made a change, he left the company suddenly due to something, he left the company, is not available for some reason. Now how do you build your application? So the code matters a lot. Doesn't matter it's a developer code, it's a QA code, it's a DevOps automation things, right? Everywhere you require this one, everywhere you require proper code management. Without proper code management, nothing will work, because it's completely any website you take, it is dependent on your code only. If the code is not written properly, code is not maintained properly, application cannot be built. So main thing is code. Okay, and also it can be anything, it can be code, it can be your automation, anything. This is mandatory to make sure that code is properly structured and is kept there. Now, second most important tool, take any build tool. Because so much of code is written. Okay, so very sorry guys, internet went unstable. That's fine, let's come back. Okay, so second tool, I'm going with Maven with the standard build tool available in the market. Okay, so this is one of your build tool. Okay, this is GitHub is called your, we call it as source code management. Build tool, source code management build tool. Okay, so why do we require this one? So in the traditional system, why they brought this tool is, for example, there's a developer, so what he'll do, he'll install a Java, and after installing Java, what they do, if they want to execute something inside a Java, what they'll do, they have a command called Java C. Okay, and they'll do this Java C login.java. For example, they're working on login.java, they'll do the compilation. So very first the compilation happens, and then you go for a Java. This is your interpretation where you get the out. Okay, so basic thing, right? But what happens, this is one thing. Okay, if you're working on a multiple big project, okay, this is one thing. Second thing is dependencies. Let's suppose your project is, okay, project requires some jar or war files. Okay, let's suppose jar files you require. Okay, jar is nothing but like a jar or zip files. You take an example, jar zip, multiple jar zip files are required for your additional uh, jars and everything supporting this login.java. It requires some jar files to be downloaded from internet. Now imagine if you have a lot of dependencies, you want to, whenever you write an application, require hundreds of things to be downloaded from internet. It's very difficult, you have to download it manually, right? In the traditional system we were downloading manual dependencies and download manually exact version we brought, but now it's very difficult because so many dependencies, so many things are there. To avoid all these things, they brought a build tool where this build tool has a user friendly command. You can compile it, you can test, you can install, and you can bundle it. You can bundle. It provides a user friendly commands which is much more flexible than this. No need to execute a basic command, as well as it resolves dependencies. Okay, so download dependency, that means it may be thousands of jars, hundreds of jars, it will download automatically. So main reason was this going with dependency. It's not only from this build tool. Any build tool you take Gradle, you take Ant, you take MS build, multiple things are there. Everything will download from Maven only. If you go to Maven, from the Maven center only, those people will download it, because this is the main standard tool where people use it. Doesn't matter which tool you use, these people will download. So main reason was downloading those packages was very hectic, right? Downloading packages are very hectic. Okay, so once you do all these things, so for your final goal is your package. That means this is your software. For example, if you're working with e-commerce, you're going with e-commerce, you're building a jar, or mostly we'll be building a war file only. Why? Because in the website we use, in the dependency side we use a jar, and this side we use a war. And still sometimes they build a Spring Boot application, they use this one as well, but we need to worry about the code, let them build whatever they want. And once this is done, now you'll be doing a deployment in your Tomcat. So with the help of Tomcat, or if you have any other tool, you can use it. This is one of your tool. This is your web server, web slash application server. Okay, web slash application server. So here is where you launch the application. Okay, launch your application and you get a URL with some IP address, with some IP, colon your port number slash application endpoint. Okay, this is where you get it. This is done automatically by your tool. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, you get the port number URL for this tool already. You just need to use this one. You just need to use this one. Okay, that is given by your Tomcat. So Tomcat is used for launching multiple application. It will launch multiple applications. Okay, you don't need to. Previously, developers manually running those commands Java -jar and then war file manually, the traditional system. Now that had some drawback. That has some drawback. To overcome that, we came with this Tomcat tool, which is much more. This is the graphical user interface, which is much more easy to use. Okay, where we do your manage all applications. Manage all applications. Okay, manage all applications. It should do it. Fine. So now cube. Okay, so now cube. So this is why we want this sonar cube. Second tool. Directly, no one will go and launch it. So very first, before this code, how good quality of the code is there. That is important. So, okay, one more tool which will add directly will not deploy it. Directly will not launch a website out of this. So you require something called sonar cube, which is a quality quality check tool. Code quality. Okay, code quality. Okay, so code quality check. Okay, duplication of code. if someone has done some duplication of code. Okay, so some developer, because most of the things what happened, developer write a code and they forgot some duplication of code is there. Okay, there are like, okay, there are no standards, they don't follow standards sometimes, like it happens, right? Because some code is brought from outside, some code is picked up from standard of, okay, so code standard. So all these things has to be important, all these things are important. Code standard, okay, code standard. Then how to fix and what to fix. Now some error came, developer has written some code. Who will suggest him what to do? That suggestion is provided by a Sonar Cube. And most important thing, report. Okay, your scan report. What is the scan you do? That report is required. Why? Because customer expect this report. Without this report, Mintra will say, do not deploy it. You give me a bug-free report whether your code is bug free or not. Is your code written bug free or not? If the code is not bug free, there is no, there are, if there are any vulnerabilities virus, then they will not accept. Okay, now, and one more important tool comes here. Either you use your Nexus or use your JFrog. Okay, both are almost similar, the vendor is different, that's it, the logic is same for both. Okay, so here what you do, you have built all these packages, right? What are the package? Now you're not able building this single package, you'll be building multiple packages, because so this is your artifactory manager for artifacts like your jar war, artifacts like a jar war will be using it, jar war will be using it. Okay, so why? Because it is very important. Why it is very important? Because how much code is important, that much this war file is also important, because lot of effort is kept, lot of effort is kept in this when you store it. Why? Because let's suppose today you released it. Okay, okay, there was something called release 1.0, they released it, this jar. Okay, or the war file, what do you say? And second thing, they say they did a release of 2.0 yesterday night. Okay, suddenly something went wrong in this jar file. Where do you get this war file from? Where do you get this war file from? You have to store it in a proper location, secured. If it goes in the wrong hand, if someone tries to hack it, it goes in the wrong hand, they will create a duplicate website and they will redirect the payment to someone. So this is very secure, very important to keep it secure. So here security is there. Okay, security is there. Second thing, it is very fast. Okay, very fast in terms of download and upload. Okay, so this is where it is required. Okay, very first thing, security is there. Second thing, we have download upload is very fast. Okay, so it's not just a tool, right? It is storing in the format of Maven as well. What the Maven format, the format is storing the same way. So these tools are important. So these are your mandated tools. Any company you go, definitely you'll find these tools. Okay, even if they don't have the Stormcat or JFrog or SonarCube, at least they'll have a GitHub and your build tool. This is mandatory, and today it's more over mandatory, where people mostly okay, mostly more comfortable in working your graphical user interface. Everyone is comfortable in working your graphical user interface. So the most important tool is your Jenkins. Doesn't matter which team you work for, where you work for, every team will touch this one, though they'll not have admission knowledge, but at least they should have knowledge how to trigger, how to log in, how to check the logs, right? So that is required. So Jenkins, your automation tool. Jenkins is an automation tool, or you say it's a configuration management tool. Configuration management tool. So mostly, why do we require? Okay, sorry, not this is just a automation tool, or we say it as a continuous integration, continuous integration tool. So this is completely graphical user interface. You have command line for it also. You have CLI plus graphical both, but mostly we'll be using completely graphical. And what we do, it does integrate with all tools. Okay, it integrates with all tools. Okay, integrate with all tools, as well as this is complete your build management. It will do your complete build management. Okay, your manual task automation, all the manual task automation you can do graphically. So then how it will work? Now developer got a relief even. Developer is not doing manually now, he got a relief. People say let the developer concentrate on the code, no need to worry about him for rest of the tools. Now what we can do here is one time integration with your Jenkins. Manage your integrate with your GitHub. Okay, GitHub integrated with, okay, integrate with your, okay, integrate your Maven with this one. And finally integrate your SonarCube, Nexus, and your Tomcat. Now you can sit in single tool. Your job is much more simplified. You don't need to rush here and there. One time you will be learning this one and managing all your work from Jenkins. So that simplified. Your job is simplified for single tool. Now any company, if these five tools are there, they can run a business. They don't need any other additional tools. But one thing they require. What is that? They require your cloud. Without cloud, things will not work. So cloud is required. So here we'll be using your cloud. For all these tools you'll be using a cloud. Okay, your cloud will be used. Azure cloud. Okay, all the Azure service like my VMs. Okay, your virtual machines, put it as virtual machines. Virtual machines like for your Azure DNS. So what is this virtual machines? Simple normal machines. Azure DNS is with the help of this you can register your own website and you can uh, resolve the DNS. You can attach it to your application. Okay, so that people can easily we give basically you give, right. If I give you IP address, that is much more difficult. But when I give you www.google.com, you easily remember that. So all these things are done by Azure DNS, right. It will give you your canonical names for your website, right. Your load balancers. Yeah, load balancers. All these things are required along with infra. Yes, snapshots. Disk management. Your storage. Okay. everything will not fit. I'll not put auto scale, right? You put it as virtual. Okay, so these are your, okay, these are all the things which will be seeing in Azure, but there are a few more things it will not fit here. So everything is required. So what are the application you launched it here in the Tomcat, you will be integrating this with your Azure DNS and the application will open. Likewise, you have your disk management, load balancer, snapshot, cloud, all the administration part which you're going to cover, which you're going to put effort here, which you're going to put effort here. Fine. Now, because all these tools which you're going to install, you're going to install in Azure only. So first you have to learn your Azure part. Fine. Then now comes your, any company, these are sufficient, these tools are sufficient. If they want to go with advanced tools like Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, then they can use it. So why I'm saying this one, because there may be a profile where they'll see you have a knowledge of Linux, you have a knowledge of Git, you have a knowledge of Jenkins, enough for them, it's enough. They don't require this extra of tool. So why I'm putting this one in front of you, because there's a flexibility. Why people are moving to DevOps, why people are moving from other technology to DevOps, because it is flexible. You may get some companies, you may get all the tools, some company you will get limited tools, some company you'll get only two tools. So people are more comfortable in their work, people are exploring that tools whatever they get, and then they're trying to switch to a technology, then they're trying to switch to, when they switch to a new company, they are trying to get a new tools again. So it depends upon how you want to, okay, what you want to choose. You can choose your work, you can choose your work, and based on the that you can apply it. So you're getting flexible, you're getting flexibility with the help of this for selecting your tools before you start your work. And second thing is, Jenkins is one tool where you're sitting and doing all the work, your job is completely simplified, your job is completely simplified. Fine. Now apart from this, if people say they want some advanced tools, then you have something called Ansible. What is the reason for going with Ansible? Why this Ansible is required, and what is the reason for going with this? So Ansible is very first, it's a Ansible, it's a Ansible is an automation tool. We call this configuration management tool. Configuration management tool, right? This. Okay, so what is the reason for going with the Ansible? I know that it's an automation tool. Take an example, if you see any website, Amazon.com or your Mintra.com, whichever shopping website you see, okay, do you think it is running on single machine? Is this Amazon running on single machine? It will be running on thousands of machines. Thousands of machines it will be running there. Okay, if it's a VM based setup, it's a VM based, that is a virtual machine setup. They're running thousands of machines on Amazon. That means, for example, if I say deploy this war file application inside 1,000 machines, how much time it will take? Okay, how much time? If I say remove that application from 1,000 machines, how much time it will take? It's a longer part. Okay, if you want to do install multiple times and install multiple times, then you use your, for installation, on installation, your validations, all the validation will provided, and mostly the main reason for going is again a complex configuration files. Fine. Complex configuration changes. What is this complex configuration? Let's suppose you have a file where 1,000 lines are there. You want to modify 50 lines. Manually, if you open a file, you edit a file, there are chances that people will make a mistake, right? People will make a mistake, and that mistake can lead to, okay, failure in the production. So in the running system it will break changes. So that's the reason it's always recommended to use an Ansible automation tool which will automate all your infrastructure, automate all your work which you have done it manually, and it will take care. And again, what will happen, this Ansible can be integrated with Jenkins. Again, Ansible can be integrated with the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins again we can integrate with the Jenkins, right? Now, apart from this, what is more? Now this Ansible, this Docker, Kubernetes, everything will do a VM based deployment. That means virtual machine. If your customer has only virtual machine, will do it. If your customer has a containerization, then we use a concept of Docker and Kubernetes. Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, Docker and Kubernetes. What is this Docker and Kubernetes? And why do we require this Docker and Kubernetes? Why people are using this? People are running. So have you thought anytime? Okay, have you thought anytime where are this? I have spoken so many things. Okay, where are things these are used in real time? In the real time where it is used, I'll just come back in 2 minutes. Let's write out. So main reason for this is for reduce the cost. Okay, we'll come back where DevOps is used in real time. I'll tell you now. Okay, where are we putting this effort? I'll tell you. So reducing the cost, main reason for reducing the cost, going with the containerization application. Containerization, because okay, these are lightweight. These are lightweight. That means okay, application will be 24 by 7 up. 24 by 7 up. And second thing is okay, troubleshooting your rollbacks. Okay, your upgrades. Okay, easy compared to traditional machine. It is very easy for launching a machine. For launching a machine and deploying this in your tom, installing your tomcat and doing this one machine launching in the, okay, it will take minimum 20 25 minutes, 30 minutes to launching this one. But here fraction of seconds the same application will come. Just in fraction of second you can launch your application. Just in fraction of second you can launch your application. That powerful your Docker Kubernetes. It is a containerization lightweight application. Okay, so there is where the main reason for going with this is cost only. And second thing is high availability. Okay, high availability for keeping your machine 24 by 7 up. Okay, all your application will be 24 by 7 up. That's the reason we're going with this. Apart from this, nothing, right? There are multiple concepts in this. We'll learn about it. So main reason to bring up this is that only. So cost matters a lot. Cost matters a lot nowadays, right? Cost matters a lot. Fine. So now Docker Kubernetes. And finally comes your tool called Terraform. Okay, where people will be expecting this one, because today this is required. And if you learn this one for your Azure, tomorrow this will help you for your AWS. Same again, here and there services are different, but the logic is same. Okay, Terraform. What is this Terraform? Terraform is an infrastructure automation. Till now you did a automation if your installations and everything. Terraform is infrastructure automation where you do automation. Okay, infrastructure automation where you do infrastructure automation. Okay, so that means you can automate all your manual way of creating the virtual machines, Azure DNS, all these things. What are the graphical user also you can automate it. If you want, you can automate this as well. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, is also possible where you can automate. And again, what you can do is you can integrate this with your Jenkins and see that I want to run my Terraform commands from my Jenkins. You don't need to come to command line. You don't need to worry about the command line. Everything will be done from your Jenkins. Jenkins will take place in this. That's why I told very powerful tool. Jenkins is very powerful tool. It's a main tool where you sit and do manage work. All the automation you can do it from here, and you can sit and work on this tool. You can sit and work on this tool. Fine. So any clarity, guys? Any doubt? Any questions? So this is your overall picture where the tools are defined, overall picture where the tools are defined. Okay, this is how a company work starts and work ends, right? Company work starts and work ends, this is how it does, right? Any question, guys? Any queries or any doubts? Now come to main important thing in the real time where DevOps is used. Have you ever thought where all DevOps is used? How many industries it is using? Now come back. Okay, it's not software, guys. Automobile, insurance, financial, banking, everywhere. Think of it today. Everything is online. Your automobile, you can book a car online. You can see all the car spare parts. You can see the car specifications online. You can also in there are some outside countries where people are they book a car, they get online delivery of the car. Automobiles, okay, your all the automotive spare parts, everything is online. Insurance, you don't go to any insurance company, everything is online, you're getting it. Your financial institutes, your banking, net banking, everything is online, you're getting online, right? Your banking, internet banking, everything is online. Your social media, your WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, everything is online. How do you think these are 24 by 7 up? Whenever you open your WhatsApp, it is up. Whenever you open Instagram, it is up. When you open your Twitter, it's up. Whenever you open a LinkedIn, when you open your Snapchat, it is up and running. It is because of DevOps tools. Okay, this is because of DevOps tools. Okay, your healthcare services, the websites are up and running 24 by 7. And where is the data kept? Data is kept in the cloud. Data is kept in the cloud. All this, okay, we use the services there, and the cloud data is kept here. Cloud data is kept here. Now understand how many industries are there, how many software companies are there. Lot of software companies are there. Okay, a lot of automobiles are there, a lot of social media, a lot of e-commerce, education, everywhere you have a job. Okay, everywhere you have a job. Also, there are jobs for your government jobs like DRDO. Okay, AAI. Okay, AAI, Airport Authority of India, which is September 24th last date for application filling, right? So that is also done, right? 11 lakhs package starting, they given 11 lakhs for the government job. Okay, with all the subsidies, sideways side subsidies they're providing it. So now imagine that these many industries are using, and now who are using this one? Who is using banking? Who is using financial institute? Who is using automobile? Who is using your health service? Who is using a social media? Every common man, every individual. Okay, every individual is using it. Every person is using it. That's the reason. Understand that how many websites are going to be created in future, that many DevOps engineer jobs will open. Because okay, developer work is what, just a stable. Initially developer will be doing a work anywhere, it is common. Anywhere it is common. Initially what happens, developers work will be in the peak, but as soon as, if you see, hardly there will be change in the website, hardly will be adding some product. Okay, I'll be done once the website comes to the maintenance, developer will be reduced until you release a new feature, the work will not be there. So there, see the peak, right? So your developer will write a code, you'll be picking up the maven and build everything, all these tools you'll be doing it, right? So it depends upon again the architecture of the company, how simple it is. Okay, how simple it is. So so understand that until your website is live, that means until these customers are there, until the Amazon website, Flipkart website, any website is live, your jobs are secured. Okay, and no one is going to bring out a website. And second thing, population is associated with your population. I told you, right? Your jobs are associated with the population. How much population is going to use this service, that many jobs will be having it. And it's, you know that every person will use this one. Every person, it's a literate, illiterate, a child who is born 3 years who doesn't eat food, we show them YouTube. And then he starts. Next 30 years he'll use it. He'll create his Instagram account, WhatsApp account, Facebook account. He'll be chatting with his friends. Everything is there, guys. So understand that it's not one industry is providing your job. It's multiple industries providing your job. Only thing, you have to search it everywhere. There are like Citibank, okay, your HDFC, Kotak Mahindra, SBI is giving all the jobs. Social media, Instagram, all these are companies only. WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all these are companies only, right? This is one of the company products only, which companies are using, right? So everywhere you have a job. So only thing, you have to search it. Okay, only thing, you have to search it. So don't expect the jobs are less, jobs are more. Okay, but only thing, different domains, different places it is. So explore the market. Exploring the market is important, guys. Okay, so search yourself. If I tell it is like just some marketing type of stuff, it will be there. So search yourself, how many companies are using DevOps, how many companies are putting effort in using it. Okay, how many companies are using Azure? Explore everywhere. How many companies are using? You have good opportunities outside here in India as well. So explore it, right? How many companies are using it? And then check how many companies are using. Okay, how many jobs opening you have in a day to day in the complete market. Okay, how much salary you're getting? That is also important. Without salary, it is waste. Without salary, end of the day is what salary, right? End of the day is what salary. I'm putting effort for learning this one. So check your salaries, explore it, guys. Exploration give you more knowledge. Don't blindly trust someone. Someone says there's no opening, someone no. His skill might not fit it. Whatever tools he might learn, it is not fitting, or he might unable to crack an interview. They were with chance. So give your experience. It's just a matter of 1 hour you give an interview, right? Just go for it, take a trial, see how much capable you are, how much you want to improve, how much, okay, how much, which all areas you need to make sure you should be strong in terms of interview. Think of it. Okay, think of it. So there are people have seen who didn't do a single day practical. They just went on the classes, they learned the theory, everything, and they cracked the interview. And when they got notice period for 2 months, they started practice everything, and they are working in good companies. So that is also possible, right? It's all about your passionate, how passionate you are, okay, how much effort you can put it. So there is a fruitful result, but you require your patience. I told you initially, patience is required. Without patience, things will not work. So understand, in the complete real time, how many places DevOps is used. Everything DevOps is used. It can be electrical, it can be your automobile, it can be banking. Every process, DevOps process. And for running the process, you require a DevOps. For running that process, you require your DevOps technology. Without that, it is highly impossible. Fine, highly impossible. Okay, come back. So how do you accelerate your career in your DevOps with Azure? Okay, how do you accelerate? So very first, gain your skills, guys. Without gaining skills, nothing will happen. Gain it thoroughly. Okay, gain each and everything thoroughly. Proper roadmap for DevOps. Proper roadmap for DevOps. Get certified with DevOps and Azure professionals. Okay, you can get your professional certifications, but as I told you, go only when you want some promotion, or you want to, in your company only, you want to switch some job and you get a promo, you're getting a promotion, then go for it. Understanding the DevOps and cloud computing requirement in the current market. So understand the market. Don't trust people blindly. Understand the market, check it. Look at the market, high demand, how much demand is, how much use analysis is happening. Okay, know your salaries. Very first thing, know your salaries. Without salaries, it doesn't give any meaning, right? And this is the roadmap. Very first, learn your learn your Linux fundamental, not programming. This is for developer as well. So learning function, okay, Linux fundamentals. Then start your source code management. Then do a build activity, okay, build activities. Then your CI/CD tools, your Jenkins, Nexus, everything will come here. And then your testing, Sonar Cube. Then your application deployment, your Ansible, your Docker, your Tomcat, your Kubernetes, okay, all these things. Your monitoring, right? We'll be covering few monitoring tools as well, and then some cloud providers. Okay, jump into cloud provider. This is the roadmap you selected. Salary is fine. You'll get it in the internet. I don't want to put it there. And then, okay, check your certification. DevOps is there. Your Ansible is there. DevOps engineer master is there. Depends upon your requirement. You can check those. Okay, check those. And then this is how your roadmap for your DevOps Azure. First is Azure administration. Okay, Azure administration is there, and then you have Azure DevOps engineer. Azure DevOps engineer. Okay, both you can do it. Okay, a sysops level is also there in that, where you can check it. So administration, Azure DevOps engineer, right? So this is the part. Very first you do it first part, which is easy. Then go for the second part in case you require it. Fine. In case you require it. Fine. Any questions, guys? Any queries so far? Any questions? Any queries? Any doubts so far? So understand the market, understand the technology. Am I, if I learn this technology, next 20 years, will I be surviving the market? Will I have jobs? Will I have openings? So think about all those things and then take a step, because it's one time learning. You have to put effort one time and move on from there. Move on from there. It's not that you keep learning something and you don't implement, you don't get in the interface, how will get to know what is a job, right? So put some effort. Okay, put some effort in your complete course, and then check how you can proceed further with applying your jobs and getting the jobs, etc. Things, right? Fine. Any questions, guys? Any queries so far? Any doubts? Any doubts? Any questions? Any queries people have? Okay, fine. So this is how your cloud. So basically, what is cloud in simple terms? Previously, we had something called data centers. We used to have something called on-premise data centers. Those people, what they did for making a business. Why? Because now TCS is one company. If TCS maintains own data center, TCS will go only for software companies. Then what about us, individuals? What about small scale industries? What about your educations? What about your e-commerce website? All these people require. Some other company requires a data center. How many data center people will maintain? It's difficult, right? And it's very costly to maintain. That's the reason this cloud people came into picture, where they're making a business where they say use as much as you pay. How much you use my services, pay for that. You don't need to maintain data center. You don't have to purchase a, you don't require a room. You don't require any kind of a physical data center. You just give us the requirement, we'll provide you all the services over the internet. Use it and pay as much as you can. Pay as much as you can, pay as much as you use the service. You don't pay additional things. But here, once you purchase everything, you have to do a maintenance. You have to build a maintenance. You require a security. You require all that things. Additionally, you want to add some servers. It will take a longer time here. It will take a longer time. You have to order the servers that will come back. Again, engineer will come. All these things will work. Already providing the services to multiple people. Okay, your small scale, large scale industries. Okay, your software companies, your automobiles, all these places it is providing the service. So doesn't matter. Okay, so it is much more faster. It is much more reliable. Only thing, these people change the names. Okay, they have changed the names of all these things, right? Here we used to call it, people called virtual machines. Here we called, or people call some instances. Here we, you called database, right? Database. These people give a different name for it. Okay, so the naming conventions are changed, but the logic is same. Doesn't matter cloud. It came from on-premise only. Again, this cloud people will be sitting behind the data center. So service is same, guys. That's why. So base is Linux. If you know Linux, you can work on anything. Doesn't matter, any cloud comes tomorrow, you will be able to handle it. So base is Linux because everything is based on Linux. Okay, so that is where this cloud came into picture. Okay, before cloud we have a data center. So this is cloud computing, right? Cloud computing is something which is giving you the service. Okay, all the resources on demand, on the demand. That means on demand, whenever you request, you're getting it. There's no wait time. But if you want to put one data center, you have to order the server. That machine will come. That machine you have to configure. The engineer is required, everything is required. But here, on demand, whenever you request a machine, it is coming up. Whenever you request, deleting a machine is going down. All that things will happen from the cloud computing, right? Cloud computing. And the services are provided over the internet. That means you can provide, all the services are provided internet. You don't need to physically go to data center and get this. Everything is done on the fly. Everything is done on the fly. You'll get all the services on the fly. Okay. Okay, all these regions data centers are available, and it is high available. That means if something goes wrong in the data center, your data center is gone wrong, you should have a rented data center. The cost is more to set up this data center. But here it will never go down because it has 32 regions. 32 regions, multiple data centers are available, which will serve the traffic to you, which will serve the traffic. There is where we're going with cloud services. We're going with the cloud services which are available 24 by 7 for us whenever we require it. Fine. Where is there, people are moving to cloud. Fine. Any questions, guys? Any queries? Any doubts so far? Anything you have, feel free to ask. Any questions? Any doubts? Any queries? Any questions? Any queries? Any doubts? Okay, then guys, let's stop it here. Okay, I'm stopping it here. If you have queries, reach out to this number. Okay, reach out to this number. They'll give you all this course content, course fees, etc. They'll tell you. Fine. Okay, fine. If no questions, I'm stopping it here. Let's fine. You can take a screenshot. You can take a photo from here. Fine. Okay then. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.